Everybody in America is needing to make extra money right now. And in today's video, I'm going to go over the 4 top trending side hustles that people are doing to put more money into their pocket. And I'm going to add a 5th one in there, which is the last. And I'm going to talk about how it is, in my opinion, the best side hustle, money producing thing somebody can do part time to greatly increase their income. So for these first 4 trending side hustles, I'm going to cover the pros, the cons. I'm going to talk about them a little bit and share my experiences with doing multiples of these and wasting my time, effort, and energy on things that did not pay out in the long run. So the first one we're going to talk about is ride share. So something like Uber or Lyft. All right, so these rideshare things are a great way for people to make some side income. A lot of people do this. If you have a decent vehicle and a good criminal background, you can, or no criminal background, you can easily sign up to do a rideshare program like Uber or Lyft and start making money very quickly. Now, I will say that this is not a great way to get rich, okay? So it is very easy to start with. There are minimal requirements. There's instant payout, so you get paid right away. You can make tips, and it's a flexible schedule. So it does have a lot of pros to it. But the cons kind of outweigh those, in my opinion. Some of the big cons to doing a rideshare program are obviously the wear and the tear on your vehicle, the cost of fuel, general maintenance, cleaning your car, things like that. Then you might have bad drivers. Maybe a drunk throws up in the back of your car. You got to clean that up. So there are some cons there. But the biggest thing for me, the biggest issue is that there's no leverage. You're trading your time for money. And one thing about this is time is always more valuable than money, but people trade their time for money on a regular basis. All day jobs, you're trading time for money. Most of these side hustles are trading time for money. You work X amount of time, you get paid X amount of dollars. With something like a rideshare service, you're probably going to be making somewhere between $15 to $25 an hour. So for every hour you're working, you're making somewhere around $20 an hour, which isn't a bad income if you're really needing the extra money. But it is taxable income, I will point that out. And you're getting paid only for the time you work. So you might be making 20 bucks an hour right here, right? But still you're having to trade your time for a one-time payment. There's no residual income, there's no passive income. And yes, you could make pretty good money. For example, I was driving for Lyft one night and there was a big sport event going on, and that just happened that the parking lot across from the apartment I was living in was a designated parking area for this sporting event that was going on. And so it was very easy for me to hop in my car from my house, instantly get somebody to hire me for a ride. And that night I worked for a few hours and I made about $400, which was absolutely phenomenal. So that's not something you can count on every day, though, because more and more people are needing side income. More and more people are signing up for Uber and Lyft, and there's only a limited number of people needing rides on a given night. So there's a lot of competition, and the prices are relatively low. Plus, like I said, you have to put the time and money back into maintaining your vehicle, and it's a one-time payout. So, in my opinion, something like rideshare can be a great option for somebody needing money right now, but in the long run, big picture perspective, it's not ideal for creating big income results. Now, I will say, if you're working this a couple of nights per week, and let's say you're making a couple $100s per week, which would be absolutely phenomenal. It's like 10 hours per week, right? Um, that's 10 hours per week, 200 bucks per week, for example, that you could put into a retirement account. And that way, over a long period of time, yes, it's going to build up and you'll wind up making money off of it. But most people are doing something like this and needing that money right away for groceries. And so that $200 per week might be nice, but when you add in the wear and the tear, you're probably only making 150 maybe per week doing this at 10 hours a week of effort. And so we're going to move on to the next thing in this tier list, but this is in 5th place for side hustle income ideas. And in my opinion, I've done it before. I wouldn't recommend this. I do have a better option. It'll be the last one in this video. All right, so the next one we're talking about is delivery apps. So there are things like DoorDash, Instacart, and Uber Eats where you can sign up very easily, and there's no customer interaction, and you start making money right away. Now, I will say that this does have, oh, it also has a very flexible time frame where you can work. You can set up your own hours, so that's great too if you're looking to do an hour a day or something part time. Just kind of intermittently. This is a great option for you to just get some money in your pocket right away. Now, I will say, with the flexibility and lack of customer interaction, this can be a great thing for earning some extra money, but there are a lot of cons to it. There's high competition, there's large market saturation already. It's low paying based on the orders and the long wait times. I've been sitting in restaurants before where somebody was coming in to pick up an order for Uber Eats or whoever was the meal was ordered through, and they wound up sitting there for like 10 or 15 minutes waiting on the order to be prepared. So that's time that they're not making money. Okay, you're going to make somewhere around 10 to 20 an hour, somewhere between $10 and $20 per hour for delivering people's meals or groceries, which is not very much, especially let's round it up to 15. Let's say you're averaging $15 per hour. You still have to factor in the wear and tear on your vehicle. You have to factor in gas, vehicle maintenance, such as cleaning it, etc. And there are all those factors, also traffic, right? So all those factors are going to be depreciating how much money you're actually putting into your pocket at the end of the week or the end of the month. And so if you're needing money right away, something like this could be a good option. If you're needing groceries this week and you're not going to be able to afford them, you might be able to go out and drive for 10 or 15 hours or whatever and get some money for groceries, which is a great thing to be able to do. But once again, you're trading your time for money. So time is always greater than money. You can't get time back, but you can always make more money. This way, you're not creating any passive income. There's a massive overhead cost as far as vehicle maintenance and time consumption goes. And so in my opinion, this one is not an ideal method of side income either. And there are a lot of people doing this, and you're working for an hour, you're getting paid for an hour one time, and that's it. So once again, not an ideal thing in my opinion. And we'll move on to freelancing. Okay, so freelancing is something that's actually a better option. This is ranked number 3 on the tier list. So we just covered the first two. Third place is freelancing. It's a better option than the first two in my opinion. Almost everybody has a skill that's valuable to somebody else. Once again, you're trading time for money. Now, I will say this has great benefits to it because there's high income potential if you have a very critical skill that people are needing. Also, you're able to build a clientele list off of this. So if you go to work for someplace like Upwork or Fiverr, you can start building a clientele list and then working for them off the books, off the Fiverr or Upwork. You can start working for these people directly and making more money that way. So that can help out quite a bit. It's also remote work. So you can travel anywhere you want in the world and you're still making money, which is great. You're not tied down to any one location any longer than it takes you to sit down and do that project. So it can be very great for people who are wanting to travel for a living or travel and still make a living while they travel. You can be anywhere in the world and still create pretty good income. But once again, you're trading time for money. It's a one-time hourly exchange, your work for some dollars. Okay. A couple other cons I will say, it takes time to build a clientele list. That's true with any business out there. And there's not really a way to make a reoccurring income unless you're selling something in a package format where people are paying a subscription for the services you offered. So something like that would be if you create a software program and you get your clients off the freelancing platforms to sign up for your subscription program, then you could create a side income that's actually regenerative. So that would be a good option for you if you have those skills. Most people don't have those skills, so you're going to be trading your time for dollars. Let's say you're doing a project, you're creating an Excel spreadsheet, or you're creating a thumbnail for a YouTube video or something like that. But it does have a lot of pros, and you do have a high income potential. I see a lot of gigs on here that wind up making somewhere around 130 to, I've seen some as high as like 7,000 for a gig, right? Something like $130. A lot of these projects are done in under 2 hours. Something like this is going to be a higher skill, more time consumption kind of project, like maybe building a website. And so you're looking at somewhere, a lot of these are agencies on a freelancing platform, and they're putting somewhere like 20 hours into actual work time on that project. So there is pretty good income earning potential there, especially if you have a small company set up where you have multiple people where each person has a specific job and they can kind of, do a assembly line project where it's very, very quickly knocked out by people who are very well skilled in those particular areas. And so if you have an agency, this can be a good way to make money, kind of like being a contractor in construction, right? But once again, there are limitations. You're trading your time for money. If you want to have money continuing to come into your pocket, you're going to have to continue working and trading your time for the money. You also have to make sure your standards of work stay very, very high. Otherwise, you're going to get bad reviews on these platforms and your income is going to start drying up. So that should be said to be true of any job. You always want to be doing your best work, but this does have a lot of limitations to it. If you're highly skilled, you're needing some side income, this can be a very good choice for you for creating side income on an hourly income basis. All right, reselling and flipping is another great side hustle as far as being popular goes. If you really know what you're doing, you can make really good money flipping or selling things online. Now, I will say there are a lot of things that fall under this banner. Okay, so for example, Facebook Marketplace. So maybe you're buying products at a used clothing store and selling them on Facebook or maybe eBay or something along those lines, right? So you can make good money doing that. Once again, it's going to be very time consuming and it's not a guaranteed way of making money, which nothing is guaranteed. Okay, nobody can guarantee you anything. I can't guarantee you success in affiliate marketing, even though that's what I teach, because it's ultimately up to you to do the work. Okay, so nobody can guarantee you. FBA is one that really drives me nuts because it's been so popular on social media. I'll come back to that in a second. I did see a video recently where a guy was going to places like Goodwill and buying designer clothes that they had on the racks for, you know, a couple dollars for a shirt or whatever, and turning around and selling them on places like Facebook and eBay. And he claimed to be making over $1 million a year. So things like that are possible. I don't know if I believe that video. There's a lot of bullshit content in this genre on YouTube and all over the internet for that matter. A lot of people saying, oh, well, you can make $1 million a year selling used clothes. Okay, well, that's cool. Maybe there's one person doing it. There probably is. There's probably somebody making $1 million a year doing anything you can possibly imagine. The fact is that repeatable? Okay, so that's going to depend a lot on location. If you're in the used clothing market and reselling used clothing, you're going to have to live somewhere where the income level is high enough that people are actually turning high quality clothes into a place like Goodwill, and you could actually sell them for a profit. Somewhere like where I live, the average income is really low. So if you were to go to Walmart or if you were to go to Goodwill, most of the clothes in there are leftover clothes from places like Walmart. So they're not valuable. So that's going to depend a lot on location and skill level. If you know your specific market and you know exactly what they're wanting to buy and you know the products in that market, it's something like maybe flipping storage units, right? There's people that make money doing that, a lot of people that lose money doing that. Now let's go to FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, because this is something that's been viral on social media for a few years. So FBA really drives me nuts because there's a lot of people, especially on YouTube, promoting a fulfillment by Amazon platform or program to make you money instantly with FBA and fulfillment by Amazon. So that really drives me nuts because it's such a saturated market and there's so many products available on Amazon from so many sellers. Basically what you're doing is you're setting yourself up as an Amazon seller. You're getting a product off of something like a Chinese reseller and turning around and listing it on Amazon Marketplace and selling it that way. And the FBA means fulfillment by Amazon, which means that you ship the product to an Amazon warehouse and they fulfill your order for you. So you don't have to worry about a warehouse yourself. You do have to pay warehouse storage costs though, and you have to pay for the product up front. And it's not guaranteed that you're going to be selling it on Amazon. I can tell you from experience, it's not as easy to sell on Amazon as a person might think. There are so many varieties of every product on Amazon already that when you're a new seller with a new product, it's very hard to stand out from the competition. You're going to wind up paying for ads on there. You're going to have to do a lot of side marketing to drive people to that and actually get reviews and sales on there before it starts to trend. And by the time it starts to trend, there's already going to be another reseller or 10 resellers selling the same product at a lower price because they got it off of some freaking Chinese reseller for a smaller amount of money per item, and they have a better margin than you do, and so they're able to sell at a lower price point, and they're already established, and so it's going to be very hard to get going in this. And most of the people who are promoting fulfillment by Amazon on YouTube are not actually getting rich off of Amazon. They're getting rich off of selling people courses on how to get rich off of Amazon, which is pretty much bullshit that they're selling. And that's my own opinion based on my own experience of actually doing it myself. This can be a very big money pit very quickly, and you can definitely lose money very quickly with no compensation for it and never see that money back in your pocket. Now, I will say some pros to this. If you're really good and you know your products and you know your market and you've got a good eye for picking out things, there can be some very good returns very quickly, especially if you're looking like something like jewelry, for example, and somebody's accidentally selling something of high value that they don't know that it's high value, right? So there are niches in there and specific people who can do very well with something like this as far as reselling goes. but you're constantly going to be sourcing products and promoting products to try to sell them, maybe creating listings or whatever else to sell the product. You're gonna have to worry about customer returns and refunds and card processing. So this is a very, very time consuming way of a side income. Now, that being said, there are people who are successful. I have a friend who does it with cars, right? Like he has a dealer's license. He goes to the auctions, he buys vehicles. He'll go in there and buy a $90,000 vehicle cash, put a new bumper on it and turn around and sell it and make a $10,000 profit. Okay, he does it on a regular basis. He does it for fun. He's got a lot of money and a lot of time on his hands, so he can do that. And if he loses a little bit of money, it's not going to hurt him. But for the vast majority of people, we don't have extra money sitting around in our pocket. We don't have the time to go out there sourcing product. We don't have the money to put up front to buy product in bulk and post it on Facebook and wait, or on Amazon and wait for it to start selling. There's just not enough money and not enough time for things like this for the vast majority of people to become successful. And so that's why I would generally stay away from this. It's ranked number 4 on the list, not because it's great, but because it's so popular. And once again, just because it's popular doesn't mean it's great. And most people promoting this kind of stuff as a business model on social media are making money off of people paying for their program, telling them how to do it, and they're not actually making money off of doing it themselves. All right, so now we're going to talk about number 1, my favorite, affiliate marketing. This is something I am very, very passionate about. I've helped a number of people start making money doing affiliate marketing. This is what I've done for a living for the last 6 years. And if you guys have followed me for very long on any of my other social media platforms, you know that I've been doing affiliate marketing for about 6 years. I started out with just my phone in my car or in my kitchen, recording myself with my cell phone, just literally holding it, looking at the camera, and I started making very good money rather quickly on social media with video content, which is what I'm training people to do. Now, I will say, yes, I make money off teaching people how to do this, okay? Actually, at the time of recording, I'm not yet, but I do have books that I've published. I have coaching available on my website. If you go to brianduclos.com, I have coaching available for one-on-one. I will say this, in my opinion, is the best way for people to make money as a side income, and it has got a lot of pros, and it does have cons I'm going to cover as well, but we're going to dive into the pros. All right, so we're going to go over some of the pros of affiliate marketing and why I love it so much. First off, there is no product. You don't have to pay for anything up front. There is no startup cost. You're simply signing up with a company to become an affiliate. Once you get accepted, they give you a link and a discount code, and you promote that in your content. So there's no product. You don't have to buy anything up front. You don't have to pay anything up front. There's no subscription. There's no contract. There's no obligation when you become an affiliate. So it's completely up to you to make money selling the products. There's no shipping. You don't have to worry about shipping any products. You don't have to worry about customer service. If there is a refund, that's automatically taken care of for you in the back end on the company's side. It's got passive income potential. So you create a video, you post it, it starts selling content or starts selling product right away, and that content stays online and it's creating passive income for you. It's remote work. You can work anywhere you want in the world. You can travel anywhere you want, anytime you want, produce content whenever you want, and it's going to be paying you. And the content you've already done and posted is going to be paying you on top of whatever you're creating at the moment. You can completely do all of this on your phone from wherever you are in the world. All you need is your phone. It scales with content and with time. So the more content you produce and the more time that goes by, the more your income is going to go up. So if you want to increase your income, you simply create more content. And over time, you're creating the additional content at a higher rate. And with time, you're getting more and more people on your channels, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. And with time, you're getting more subscribers. The old content is still selling, and you're producing new content that's selling in addition to that. So it definitely scales very rapidly. You work an hour and you get paid for that hour of work repeatedly for years. So you produce, let's say you put an hour into producing content, you get that posted online. As long as that content is online, it's going to be paying you. I talked about this in a video recently. One of my best videos I ever did, I was sitting in my car at work. It was a horrible day. I was dirty, and I gave a quick 3-minute review of a product I had been taking with a link in the video description while I was in my work clothes at work in the middle of the day on lunch break, and absolutely disgusting conditions to be working in. I was completely miserable, dehydrated, and everything else. And that video has been paying me every month for over 6 years now. That one company that I did the link to has paid me over $400,000 in affiliate commissions over the last 6 years just from that one company. And so that video, like I said, over 6 years ago, I posted that and it's still making me money every single month. So you're working for an hour, you're getting paid for years off of that work. And that's in contrast to any of the other side gigs we've talked about, where you work an hour, you get paid for the hour, right? For the first three we talked about. And for the majority of side gigs, whether maybe you're going to start contracting on the side, maybe you have the skills to become a contractor, you're still trading your time for money. You do have big income potential, but as soon as you stop working, the money stops coming in. Unlike affiliate marketing, where you can stop working and go on vacation and you're still making money, right? You can go on vacation for a year, and if you've already got a bunch of content online that's already making money and getting views, you're going to still be getting paid while you're on that year-long vacation. So it's got the passive income potential, and you put the hour of work in, and it's going to pay you over and over and over again. So every hour of work that you do is compounding on the last hour of work that you did. There are very, very few things you can do in life as a side income earning machine that are going to pay you residual income like this. Okay. And once again, there is no startup cost. You're not buying any products. You don't have to do anything. There's no cost to you the way that I've structured this. And like I said, yes, I am structuring this in a way where I make money off of selling coaching and books, etc. But everything you guys need to do is included in my YouTube content and in my blog on brianduclos.com. It's completely free to get that information. And if you follow the program that I have outlined, there is no cost to you. And you can easily start making big money with affiliate marketing with no money out of your pocket and without paying me anything. If you guys want to buy my books, I greatly appreciate the support for that. If you want to hire me to coach you one-on-one through setting this up, I really appreciate that. I will do my best to help you get started quickly. But once again, everything that I'm talking about, everything that I'm going to teach, everything that I've done can be done for free, and I'm giving you guys all the tools to do that on YouTube and on my website. So go check out those articles on brianduclos.com. If you want to put some money into the books off of Amazon, I really appreciate that. The link's in the video description. All right, so we're going to cover some of the cons of affiliate marketing. And I'm going to say these cons, I'm going to tell them to you, and I'm going to list them here. But you need to keep this in perspective, especially related to other side hustle methods or business models. These cons are not bad when you compare them. The first con we're going to talk about is that it takes consistency. So it takes consistency. You need to be putting effort into this on a regular basis, on a consistent basis for a longer period of time than with other business models. So for example, you go out and drive for Uber and Lyft, you can sign up today and be making money tomorrow. Okay, with affiliate marketing, there is some setup that takes place. It's going to take you a few hours to get everything set up. But once you get that set up, it's in place, and then it's up to you to be producing content. With that content production, like I said, I want you guys doing 3 to 5 videos per week. You're going to be wanting to do this for a year. So figure on taking 2 hours per week for the next year. You guys, everybody out there can budget in 2 hours, okay? Just stop scrolling TikTok for 2 hours and do some content for yourself. Okay, so 2 hours per week, 3 to 5 videos per week for 1 year. I want you guys to dedicate that to affiliate marketing. If you do that, I would be willing to bet that you will be making money, and you'll be making enough money that you're wanting to do this seriously for the duration of your working career. Okay, so it takes consistency. Almost everything in life that is good is going to take consistency. Remember, you're building yourself a business here at no cost, no overhead. All you got to do is put the time into it, and you're going to be making money. The next con I'm going to talk about is there is a learning curve to this. How you're going to create your content, how you're going to present your offers. That all takes a little bit of time to establish what feels comfortable and natural for you. And once again, this goes back to how I want you guys creating content. I want you to be your natural self, talking like you're talking to a friend or a family member, where you're simply showing how X product helped you solve X problem. Okay, so you're going to have your intro, gets people wanting to watch your video. Then you're going to talk about the problem you've had, how you've dealt with it, how this product solved the problem for you, the pros and the cons especially of that product, and how it may or may not be helpful to somebody else in the same situation that you were in that you're talking about in the video. So there's a learning curve here. Not learning how to sell, you're learning how to present the situation, the problem, and the solution in a way where people are making a well-informed decision on that product before they buy it. You don't want people buying a product they're going to regret purchasing. You want them to buy a product that's actually beneficial to them and actually going to help them solve the problem they want to solve. So there's a learning curve with how to do that. Just getting comfortable in front of a camera is going to take a while for a lot of people. especially people in an older generation, my age or older, are going to have more of a hard time being comfortable in front of a camera because we didn't grow up with cell phones. Okay, so a lot of us don't feel comfortable sitting there recording ourselves. But after a while, after doing this, for 6 months or a year, you're going to start feeling pretty comfortable doing it. You might even start enjoying it, okay, because you're actually helping people. You're getting positive comments. And I will say, regardless of what genre you do, what kind of content you produce, there are going to be people online who are ripping on you. There's just going to be haters. It's unavoidable, but haters just need to be ignored. You're going to have an overwhelming amount of feedback with time of people appreciating the content you've produced and thanking you for providing them with the solution that they were looking for. So there's a learning curve, like I said, but it is rewarding in the long run. I will say the third con I'm going to talk about here is that it can feel overwhelming. Sometimes even I feel overwhelmed. I'm just tired of producing content, tired of talking about a specific topic or niche, and I just don't feel like doing it anymore, okay? But that's where somebody like a mentor like myself can come in and be very helpful if you're willing to put up the cost for that. Reading a book, maybe focusing on something else for a little bit, or using something like ChatGPT to create new ideas can be really beneficial for helping you not feel overwhelmed. And the majority of the overwhelmed feeling comes from procrastination. And this is in my own experience and my experience helping other people. The problem isn't that you're overwhelmed by actually doing it. The problem is you don't feel like doing it, and that's what's causing you to feel overwhelmed. It's not the actual doing of the thing, it's the thought of doing the thing that's making you feel overwhelmed, if that makes sense. My dad always had this saying when I was a kid that the stewing is worse than the doing. And so many times in life I've seen this with people, especially people who are trying to become entrepreneurs, is that they stew about the problem instead of just taking care of it. They sit there and think about it and think about it, and they just overthink the problem. And pretty soon it's created this huge situation in their mind that they feel completely incapable of overcoming. And instead of just doing the simple task in the first place, they're in a headspace where they're completely lost, overwhelmed, and it doesn't get done. So you can sit down and do 5 minutes of work, get the video knocked out and posted, and be done with it and move on with your life. Or you can sit there for the next 2 days thinking about it and not doing it and not get anywhere with your life other than making yourself miserable. So stop overwhelming yourself. If you really need help, maybe hire me for some mentorship. I'll be happy to help you overcome that. But ultimately, it's up to you to just do it. I love that Nike saying, just do it. Just get it done. It's not that bad. Just do it. So get it done, start making some money, and you'll be thankful for it in the long run. All right, so let's talk about some realistic income goals with affiliate marketing. I've used ChatGPT to analyze online data. You can go through ClickBanks and other places like that that actually monitor statistics of affiliate marketers' income and sales and what actually happens. So these numbers here are very realistic based on statistical information that's available online. Now, I will say that I have comparable income based on the amount of work I'm going to outline in this, but an average person who does affiliate marketing and is producing content on a regular basis is going to make somewhere between, in the first 1 to 3 months, they're going to be making somewhere between $0 and $300 per month in income. Between month 4 to 6, it's reasonable to expect somewhere between $500 and $2,000 per month in income. Between months 7 and 12, it's quite possible and likely to be making between $2,000 and $20,000 per month. Now, if you follow the program that I have outlined here on YouTube and in my last couple of videos, and that I will be continuing to cover in future videos, I'm asking you guys to produce 3 to 5 videos per week. Now, for this example, I want to say you produce 5 videos per week. And the outline I've given you for creating content, you're going to be working a total of 2 hours per week. 2 hours per week. You can simply give up a little TikTok time and put 2 hours of effort into creating your income. That's all I'm asking you guys to do. I'm asking you to do that consistently. So for this example, we're going to say you do 5 videos per week in the 2 hours, which is quite reasonably easy. So for 1 year of work, you're doing 5 videos per week, 2 hours per week of work. You're going to have 96 hours invested, 96 hours of work done. You're going to have created 260 videos. And if you're only earning mid-level revenue on that affiliate marketing, you're still looking at $10,000 per month in income after 12 months work, okay? Now, once again, I want to reiterate, you've worked in 1 year, you've invested a total of 96 hours into your side gig. You've created 260 short videos, and you're making $10,000 per month. Now, I can't guarantee this. This is up to you to actually do the work. You have to actually sign up for the affiliate programs. You actually have to produce the content. But if you do this, if you do it the way I've outlined in my content, I would be willing to bet that you can hit this quite easily. Okay. And if you look at the statistical information, it's quite reasonable to be up to $20,000 per month. Especially, there are some niches that just have fat margins. And when I go through my 300 hobbies and 5 sub hobbies, sub niches for each hobby, I'm going to be breaking this down and talking about that in more detail based on the specific niches. Okay. Top creators in affiliate marketing are making over $100,000 per month. So I want you to think about this. If you hit the first year you've done this work, you've got $10,000 per month in income. With time, that's going to continue going up. So even if you stopped after the first year, your content is still going to be on social media. It's still going to be getting views. It's still going to be converting traffic into sales. And if you add more videos over the following years, it's going to push that number up even faster. So let's assume in year 2, you continue the same exact format. You're still doing 2 hours per week, 5 videos per week. Now you're looking at a combined, if you're just going mid-range, guys, if you're just going mid-range on this, based on statistical data with affiliate marketing, information that's available on the internet, you're looking at year 2, you've done a total of 192 hours of work into your side gig. That comes out to 0.29 hours per day. So you're looking at just over a fifth of an hour per day that you invested into work, which is almost nothing. You're looking at, what does that come out to be? Like 12 minutes a day, something like that, invested in your side gig. Like, how many jobs can you work 12 minutes per day and look at numbers like this? So by the end of the second year, you're going to have 520 videos online. And that's simply doing 5 videos per week. Very easy to do. And you're looking at, if you're only hitting mid-tier numbers based on statistical information online, you're looking at $20,000 per month of income. Now, how many jobs can you sit down and say, I'm going to work 192 hours and get paid $20,000 per month? I want that to sink in for you guys on the amount of money you can make with affiliate marketing. I don't know how many people have gone out there looking for side gigs. They've gone out and worked 200 hours. They've made themselves maybe, a couple of $1,000s in side income. It's helped them buy groceries, pay bills. But now that 200 hours of work done on any of the other side gigs, it's gone. It's not paying you again. So what I'm saying is, instead of putting the time into the side gig, or maybe in addition to whatever side gig you already have going on, you start doing the affiliate marketing. You put in 2 hours per week, 5 videos per week, and you do this for 2 years. After 2 years, if you're making $20,000 per month, you can pretty well, almost anybody out there can walk away from their day job comfortably. They can walk away from any other side gigs comfortably. And all you're doing is 96 hours of work per year, 260 videos per year. And every time you do that, you're increasing your income and it's actually going to be more than $10,000 additional income per year, because with time, you're growing a bigger audience. And with time, your content's going to be getting better. And with time, you've already got the old videos out there that are adding to the income you already have. So it's quite realistic that after the first 2 years of producing content on a regular basis, you're going to be making significantly more than that. So you're already looking at $240,000 a year of income after 2 years of work and 192 hours invested. That's what I'm here for. That's what my mentoring's for. That's what my books are for. And like I said, you can absolutely do this completely for free, no money out of pocket, no obligation to you. All you need is your cell phone and some dedication and consistency. And I want you guys to be pulling in numbers like this. So just to reiterate, this is the one side gig that I have covered and that really fits this category of being able to build your income over time. You're getting residual income. You're earning money while you're sleeping. You're earning money while you're on vacation. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. And there's no obligation or upfront cost to you. The only time there starts being a cost is when you want to start expanding or doing things more complicated, like maybe getting a video editing software like I have, or some additional lights, right? But it's very minimal cost that you don't need to actually make this kind of money. And so hopefully this video has helped you guys out. Hopefully I've inspired you to do some affiliate marketing and be consistent with it. Follow this YouTube channel, subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever. It helps out a ton with the algorithm. I appreciate that. If you want me to do some coaching one-on-one with you, that is available on my website, brianduclos.com. Go check that out. The books are available on Amazon, links in the video description. And hopefully I've inspired you guys to start doing something with your life. Once again, I don't make any money off of doing this unless you specifically seek me out and pay me for my time or buy my books. But everything you guys need is completely available on my channel and on my website for free. And you can absolutely do this. I have no doubt in you. Everybody has the ability and the skill and the knowledge to do this. especially if you're following the outline I've presented in my videos. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you tune in for the next video, and I'll see you in that video. Take care.